Howdy crew, I'm back at the city of Pasadena College. Gonna get ready for some more welding. Let's get to it. Howdy crew, I'm William Morris, President and CEO of the Welding Cowboy Corporation, certified licensed welder and owner-operator of a welding rig based out of Los Angeles, California. On here I'll be going over welding knowledge, what it's like to own and operate a welding rig, welding blueprints, welding math, welding equipment, and so much more. Welcome to the channel. I'm William Morris, the Welding Cowboy. Alright, so this is round 2. And got everything hooked up, got leads up there, sorted out, sent hand line with a nose bag on down, got all my tools up there. It's much easier than going up the elevator and up the ladder and everything. So I had the landline brought down, loaded up the nose bag, hauled that up several times, got all the gear up there. The only thing left, so I got all the gear up there. The only thing left is to have the rods brought up, but I'm just going to be getting those out of a new hermetically sealed container so that way the inspector can see it. The last ones I had in the rod oven, so I'm just going to go get that done, get some more water and coffee. And my best friend forced me to buy some more Monsters, so I have some more Monsters to drink. And I'm going to get some of the coffees from the MREs, get some more coffees going, and get ready once everything's prepped and ready to go, and everything will be solid, so we can get to it. Last thing to get up there is this piece of steel, so I'm going to go grab this critter on out. So this is steel that's going to be beveled and prepped. I'm going to have the backup strips put on there. So it's just A36 Group 1 steel. Go. Get this all prepped up, ready to go. 45-degree bevel on 3 sides, no root face, and gonna have it about a 1/4 inch away on the 3 sides, so that way the backup strips are gonna cover that and then have plenty of spots for the root welds. So yeah, that's just what's requested of it, and that's how they wanted it, so that's what's gonna be done. This one's patched up, good to go. This side is patched up. Everything's ready to go. Leads are all hooked together, going off the side. So everything's set. Once the piece gets here, ready to put up the backup strips, get everything tacked in place. So yeah, I got everything prepped, fire extinguishers out, everything's ready. Just a waiting game, which shouldn't be too much longer. It should be another 5-10 minutes max before the plate gets here. But all ready to go, get this critter done. Another long day, got everything done. It's time to head on home. Well, back to the yard, drop off Calypso, and then head on home. A little bit of information about what's going on at the Pasadena City College job site. So I was informed by the fabricator who would be at the job site to pick up a piece of steel. I go to the fabricator shop and pick up a piece of steel. I go in and I talk to one of the workers and say, I need this piece of steel that is ready for this project. And I specify everything. And he says, okay, I got it. It's right here. And he hands it to me. And it looks unprepared. And I said, isn't it supposed to be finished? And he said, nope, this is how it's going to be. It's going to be finished on the job site. Okay, I can do that. So load up in the rig. As y'all saw, I get it out. And I'm there. And the fabricator says, where's the piece of steel? And I said, it's right here. He said, that's not it. And I said, well, I talked to your guy. And he said, this was it. And so anyways, that got brought up. But no time lost. It was still being worked on. The beams, the wall had to be opened up again, because what had really happened through all of this was quite interesting. So it's kind of a little bit of a long story, but if you're wanting to be a rig welder, this is going to be stuff you're going to have to get used to, because I've been having to deal with this stuff more and more frequently. What is happening, the Pasadena City College is having their end of year budget stuff done. And if they don't use their budget, they lose it. So they're finding anything that can be done. And was told that this beam was actually not welded properly in the 90s. And they reopened it because they need to use the money. They need to send it somewhere to get stuff done, so that way they get it for the following year. And so now, that's why I'm here, is because they need to spend some of that money just so they keep their budget for next year and they can spend on something else. It's the use it or lose it that campuses everywhere do. It's not just this college, it's everywhere. Same thing with local municipalities, states, and even at other levels. So anywho's, that's kind of what's going on. Now, I talked to the fabricator, one of the contractors, the welding inspector, the punks, and the engineer. That engineer was on the phone. I was on the phone with the engineer as well as with everyone else. The phone was on speaker, and it was not my phone, it was someone else's phone. I believe it was the contractor's phone. And we were all conversing. What's going on? What's the game plan? Go over the WPS. The inspector signed off on that. The inspector was talking to the engineer, making sure everything was good to go. Pictures were sent back and forth. Blueprints were sent back and forth. Everything was being talked about, game plan, everything. And we were all in agreement that it was good to go. Last person to say good to go was the engineer over the phone. So, as y'all have seen, I did my welds, all that. The inspector signed the steel. Everything was great. We all went home happy. Next day, I get a call. The welds need to be ripped out and everything needs to be done again. Now, I first thought, what happened? The inspector saw the welds, they were good. Was there something wrong with the welds? I didn't see anything. I didn't detect anything. The inspector said they're good. No, what had happened was the engineer said everything was good to go, but he did not stamp the blueprint, the permission, whatever it was. He did not put his official stamp on there. And so since it was not stamped, it had to be taken out and redone the exact same way. So went back out, had the punks rip it out, which also takes a while. Mind you, that there's this other stipulation in this project that there's no flame cutting allowed, because there's no heat or flames allowed around this. But there's welding. So I explained this to the welding inspector, to the engineer. I explained it to everyone that it's heat, it sparks, nothing can be done about that. And they all understood it, but it's something to do with the contract. I don't know. So no flame cutting because they don't want sparks. Go figure. So the grinders were fitted with the cutoff wheels, and punks were cutting it up, as you could see, and then using grinding wheels, flap wheels, get everything smooth, ready to go. Then the piece of steel that was supposed to be brought to the job site was brought up by someone else, and it's just all the things that were happening. Now again, no time was lost because it took forever to open up the wall, get the fire coating off of the beams. It was some sort of fiberglass looking fireproofing, between a fiberglass stucco look. I have actually no clue what it is, but it's some sort of fire rating that they put on the steel beams, and that had to be removed and smelled awful. So that had to go through its process, then got everything tacked up, got it all welded again. The welding inspector was back out, and everything's good to go. Now, I found out later through other channels that the reason this all happened was apparently the contract that was out on the job site was doing certain things, and some of the higher ups of the company just didn't like him. Apparently he was going by the book on things and wasn't cutting some corners. I don't know. Whatever was going on, don't know. And anyways, he got fired. And that's what this whole thing was so that something that was on his end, even though it was the engineer that didn't stamp it, something that got screwed up, and now he is fired. Nothing to do with me, nothing to do with the fabricator, welding inspector, but we all got pulled out again to do this project, and that's what happened. Now again, just like in the last vlog, that there's no footage of the welding because there's just no room. Up on scaffolding, I have multiple people climbing up while I'm welding. There's no room for a tripod, hook the camera off or anything, so it's just not there. It is what it is. You can't, especially if you're, well, it really doesn't matter if you're employee or own your own business, you can't tell an entire job site, wait, I have to set up a camera. You know, it just doesn't happen. If I get footage, great, I'm more than happy to put it on here. Just, this was not the time nor place, especially with all the tension that was going on, and there was some other workplace drama that I was not privy to, which I don't care. Everyone else got their issues. I'm just there welding. I don't care. They got their own little issues. So that's what's been going on with this project while I'm out a second day doing the exact same thing. And it took a little bit longer because having to reopen up the wall and all that stuff, whereas the time before the wall was already open, I was able to see everything and just get to work, whereas this time it was just taking longer. Now, it was nice because I already knew where everything was. That setup was faster. I could get everything just set up even easier. I did bring the landline and use the nose bag. That's one thing that I've ordered, that will be getting a new nose bag, because the nose bag I have has a lot of sentimental value to me, so I don't want to have that destroyed or lost on a job site because I hate losing sentimental stuff. So that will be done. You'll all be seeing that coming in soon. But you're all going to have to deal with job site drama or people needing to cause issues for someone else to be fired or whatnots, or sometimes they try and pin things on you. It is what it is. You just got to roll with it. Nothing else you can do. So it was pretty good welding. One thing though that I will mention, the depth is not quite shown well on the footage. When you can see that I reached the camera in, that you can see that there is a decent amount of depth from my face. I'm reaching all the way in and around. It's pretty fun. I view this stuff as fun because if you do the same boring welds over and over, it gets dull, it gets monotonous, and that's not fun. I like tricky things. I like things that are different, new, things I either have to contort myself around, because that's what makes it fun. That's why I'm doing this. If I wanted something boring, I'd stay in the Ironworkers Union. So I don't even know what you call them, the tin studs, whatever they are, sheet metal studs, those are up front. Then there's even more of a space to the beam and column. Then you have the stiffener that's going in there. And so having to reach around it and try and poke a head in, get everything else contorted, you're just being a little bit of a contortionist, and that to me is fun. Does it hurt? Sure. Is it awkward? Yeah, it is. But it's definitely fun. And personally, that is a blast to me because it's something different. It's not just standing there doing the same old boring weld, vertical, overhead, flat, horizontal, what have you, and you're just standing there or whatnots. This, you got to be contorting yourself, having your feet up on weird spots on the scaffolding, just really being awkward, getting in there, and it makes it more fun, makes it more exciting, and more of a feeling of job well done at the end of the day. That's my own personal view of it. I know some folks just like to stand there well, and there's nothing wrong with that, but for me personally, this was a blast because it wasn't easy, and that makes it fun. So for both days, had to do that. Everything got signed off again, and no other welds had to be done. Some other stuff had to be welded that y'all saw in the prior vlog, whereas this time it was just this one specific spot that had to be redone. But it just took a while because put more welds on it than what was there before, and then of course having to just get new guys back up there. I was not working with the subscriber that I did the prior day, 2 days ago, so this time it was with a little bit more of a refined crew, but everyone pretty much knew what was going on, so that did speed some things up. But still another 9-hour day in the books. Not a long day, but it was good, so I was happy with that. And definitely going to be getting a better landline with some better pulleys and also another nose bag, so that way things just get a little bit more streamlined, more efficient, and some good material there. So that's basically what's been going on. It was just drama stuff going on and whatnot. You know, you can't help that. And just a fun weld in general, being able to work on things. You know, you have to bend your eye. You got to really get in there. You're contorting because you got to get your hood and hard hat in there. It's a blast. I just really enjoy that. Those are the more fun welds, and it makes it a great day. So I just want to add that more of a background as what was really going on. It's just not straight welds or anything like that. And also definitely using the remote for the Trailblazer, so that way I could turn it on and off whenever I needed it. I don't know the direct distance as the crow flies to the rig, what it was at a diagonal going through the building, but I was using about 200 feet of 2/0 lead, and I was still able to get the machine on and off. There was a couple times it had to take a couple of tries, but I just moved a little bit and I was able to get it on and off whenever I needed. And there was stuff in the way, so I don't know. I would like to do some testing of unobscured view of the Trailblazer, turning it on and off, so hopefully that'll be in the books and vlogged fairly soon, so y'all get to see what the distance is and also what it's like with things in the way, because that would be a blast to see what it is, because there was definitely a lot of stuff, heavy equipment in the way, metal, concrete, stucco, all kinds of good stuff in the way, and it still worked really good, and I'm very happy with that. So definitely more of that content coming up soon, and finally done with this job, as long as they don't call back, say that they didn't stamp it again. So another good day in the books, and I'll see y'all in the next vlog.